Let's get uncomfortable because here's the truth nobody in my industry likes to say out loud. I've seen deals close just fine without a realtor, and I've seen people lose 15 to 20,000 and not even realize it until after the fact. I received a call one time after an acquaintance closed on a house. They thought they got a good deal. Come to find out, they had waived an inspection contingency without ever understanding what that meant. 3 weeks later, the heating and AC units go out. $9,000 out of pocket. No negotiation, no leverage, just a bill. So here's the burning question. Do you really need a realtor to buy a home? Sometimes yes, and sometimes no. Today, we're talking honestly about when representation matters and when it doesn't. This is Darren McWilliams, and welcome to Between the Studs and the Settlement. Good realtors protect timelines, catch contract issues, coordinate inspections, negotiate repairs, manage risk. They don't just open doors. Let me make this real for you. Here's a deal where the lender was dragging their feet. No sense of urgency. Closing date was about to get blown. Now, if you're unrepresented, the seller could legally walk or charge you penalties. However, a good realtor will step in, get everything aligned, escalate it, and close on time. That's not opening doors. That's protecting your contract. Here's a client whose inspection comes back with roof damage. Seller says it's minor. I said, cool. Then let's get a licensed roofer to prove it. Good realtor isn't emotional. They're strategic. They know when to push and when to shut up and let the deal breathe. This is where it gets expensive. Unrepresented buyers often miss contract protections, miss builder incentives, overpay quietly, absorb risk unknowingly, especially in new construction. Builder incentives trap. New construction is where I see people get cooked the most. Builders say we'll give you 10,000 toward closing costs. Sounds great, right? What they don't tell you is you just paid 15,000 more for the house to get that incentive. That's not a deal, that's a trade. Contract protections missed. Seen buyers use the listing agent directly thinking it's smoother. But understand this, the listing agent works for the seller. Period. So when something goes wrong, who's advising you? Nobody. You're basically negotiating against a professional by yourself. However, some states allows dual agency. This is where the realtor has written consent to represent both the seller and the buyer. It is not recommended because of an unavoidable conflict of interest where the agent becomes a neutral party and cannot properly negotiate on your behalf. Not to mention the potential for the agent to chase a double commission at the expense of client advocacy. It is illegal or banned in Alaska, Colorado, Florida, Kansas, Maryland, Oklahoma, Vermont, and Wyoming. Always choose to protect your best interests. Silent overpaying. I had a buyer come to me after putting in an offer on their own. They were about to pay 20,000 over what the comp supported. Why? Because they fell in love with the house and nobody grounded them. Most people don't lose money in real estate loudly. They lose it quietly in the details they didn't know to look for. Let me earn your trust real quick. Cash deals, deep experience, low complexity transactions, or situations where a realtor may not add value. Experienced buyer. If you've bought 8, 10, 12 properties, you understand contracts, timelines, inspections. You might not need handholding. At that point, a realtor becomes more of a convenience than a necessity. cash and simple deal. Cash deal, no contingencies, buying from a family member. Yeah, that's straightforward. There's less risk, fewer moving parts. But let me be clear, simple doesn't mean risk free. It just means you're choosing to manage that risk yourself. A good realtor will tell you when you don't need them. A bad one will make you feel like you can't breathe without them. Honesty builds trust. Okay, let's call some BS. If a realtor pressures instead of explains, walk. Representation is about protection, not persuasion. Pressure is a red flag. Education is a green light. If someone can't explain why you should do something and can only tell you that you should, that's not representation, that's sales. You're not buying sneakers. This is one of the biggest financial decisions of your life. Nobody should be rushing you through it. Question isn't, do I need a realtor? Because now you know. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. The real question is, who's protecting your money? Who's protecting your risk? And who's making sure you don't learn an expensive lesson after you close? Because whether you realize it or not, in every real estate deal, somebody is being protected. Make sure it's you. Next episode, we'll talk about how inspections aren't deal killers. Ignorance is. I'm Darren McWilliams, and this has been Between the Studs and the Settlement. We will talk again soon.